Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to reflect on the moments in life where we've been pushed to our limits, where control slipped through our fingers like sand and nothing seemed to go right no matter how hard we tried. In those moments, we face a choice. Do we keep struggling, trying to force things to go our way, or do we step back, breathe, and say, God, I leave it to you? You see, life doesn't always unfold the way we planned it. You can put in the work, make all the right moves, and still find yourself in a place you never intended to be. And that's where faith steps in, faith in the process, faith that every moment, every challenge, and every delay is a part of a bigger picture. Trusting the process means believing that every step you take is leading you somewhere, even when you can't see the destination. It's easy to trust when things are going well, when every effort you make yields results, when doors open effortlessly. But real trust, real faith, is tested in the waiting, in the uncertainty, in the seasons where progress seems slow or non-existent. It's about understanding that just because you don't see immediate results, it doesn't mean that progress isn't being made. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. Beneath the surface, you can't see what's happening, but deep down roots are forming, the seed is transforming, preparing to break through the surface. That's how life is. Sometimes you have to trust that beneath the surface, God is working on your behalf, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Trusting the process also means recognizing that setbacks are part of the journey, not the end of it. Those obstacles, those moments when you feel like you're walking through the valley, they're there to shape you, to build you, to prepare you for what's next. If every step was easy, if every door opened without resistance, would you truly appreciate the victory when it comes? Would you be strong enough to handle the success that awaits? So often we look at delays as denials, but they're really detours meant to refine us. Maybe the path you thought was right wasn't the one that would bring out your best. Maybe the timing you wanted wasn't the timing that would make the most impact. Trusting the process means believing that every detour is leading you somewhere you're meant to be, that every struggle is building your resilience, and every delay is aligning you with the right opportunity. It's not easy, there's no denying that. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when you question whether you're on the right path, whether you're wasting time, whether you should just give up. But that's when you lean into faith the most. That's when you remind yourself that you're being prepared, that growth is happening even in the silence, that God's plan is still unfolding. Because it's in those moments when you hold on to faith despite the uncertainty that you learn to truly trust the process. In life, we often find ourselves caught in a web of worry and anxiety, grappling with situations that feel overwhelming and out of our control. The truth is, we spend so much time focusing on the things we can't change that we neglect the power we have over our own actions, responses, and decisions. This principle, control what you can, let go of the rest, serves as a powerful reminder that while we may not dictate every outcome, we can influence our journey through our choices and mindset. Let's break this down. First, recognize the areas where you have power, your attitude, your effort, and your reactions. You have control over how you respond to challenges, how much energy you invest in your goals, and how you choose to interpret setbacks. It's about making conscious decisions every day. For instance, when faced with obstacles, you can choose to see them as barriers or as opportunities for growth. Each time life throws a curveball, you have the option to react with frustration or to respond with determination and creativity. The way you frame your challenges shapes your experience. When you focus on what you can do, your actions, your perseverance, your resilience, you begin to reclaim your power. Now let's talk about letting go. This doesn't mean abandoning responsibility or giving up. Rather, it's about releasing the grip you have on the outcomes. Life can be unpredictable, and the desire to control every situation can lead to immense stress and disappointment. Understand that there are forces beyond your control, other people's choices, unforeseen circumstances, even fate itself. Imagine trying to steer a ship through a storm. You can adjust your sails and navigate through the waves, but ultimately the strength of the storm lies beyond your influence. Letting go means acknowledging the storm's power and adapting your approach accordingly. It's about understanding that sometimes the best course of action is to hold steady and trust that you're equipped to handle whatever comes your way. One of the most liberating aspects of this principle is recognizing that by letting go, you make room for new possibilities. When you cling to the familiar, to the need for certainty, you close yourself off to opportunities that may come knocking unexpectedly. When you surrender the need to control every outcome, you open your heart and mind to new experiences, to possibilities that may be even better than you initially imagined. Moreover, letting go cultivates peace of mind. How often do we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, feeling responsible for everyone else's happiness, success, or decisions? When you learn to let go of the need to control others, you free yourself from the burden of their choices. You realize that everyone is on their own journey, and while you can support and guide, you cannot dictate their path. In relationships, for example, this principle holds immense value. You can control how you communicate, how you show up, and how you respond to conflicts, but you cannot control how others feel or react. When you accept this, you find greater harmony in your interactions. You stop trying to change people and instead focus on being the best version of yourself. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. It takes strength to release the desire for control and to trust the process. When you learn to control what you can and let go of what you can't, you embrace a more fulfilling and peaceful life. This balance of power and surrender leads to a deeper understanding of yourself and your journey. Fear is a natural human emotion. It grips us, makes our hearts race, and can even paralyze us at times. It whispers doubts into our minds, casting shadows over our dreams and ambitions. But amidst all that fear, there's a powerful antidote: faith. Faith is the unwavering belief in something greater than ourselves, the assurance that, despite the uncertainties, there is a purpose and a plan at work. When we choose faith over fear, we acknowledge that while fear may be a reality, it does not have to dictate our choices or define our path. Think about it: fear often tells us what we can't do, but faith reminds us of what we can achieve. It shifts our focus from the obstacles that lie ahead to the strength we have within us. Consider the times in your life when you felt fear creeping in. Maybe it was fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown. In those moments, it's easy to let fear take the driver's seat, steering you away from your goals and dreams. But when you choose to lean into faith, you create a powerful counter-narrative. Faith allows you to envision the possibilities rather than the limitations. It empowers you to take that leap, to step out of your comfort zone, and to pursue what truly matters to you. Faith is not the absence of fear, it's the conviction that something greater exists beyond that fear. It's about trusting in your abilities, your purpose, and the divine guidance that surrounds you. When you embrace faith, you acknowledge that challenges are merely stepping stones to growth, not insurmountable barriers. You begin to understand that every setback is an opportunity to learn, and every failure is a chance to rise stronger. Moreover, faith acts as a shield against the negativity that fear breeds. Fear can distort your perspective, making problems seem larger than they are, and leading you to make decisions based on anxiety rather than clarity. In contrast, faith opens your eyes to possibilities, enabling you to see the silver lining in every cloud. It encourages you to approach life with a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity, fostering resilience in the face of adversity. One of the most significant aspects of faith is its ability to inspire action. When you truly believe in something, whether it's your dreams, your abilities, or a higher purpose, you're motivated to take steps toward achieving it. Fear, on the other hand, can keep you stagnant, convincing you to play it safe, to avoid risks, and to stay within the confines of what feels comfortable. Consider the pioneers, the innovators, the trailblazers in history. They didn't let fear dictate their paths. Instead, they harnessed their faith and their vision and took risks that led to groundbreaking achievements. They faced challenges and setbacks, yet they pressed on because their faith fueled their determination. In personal relationships, choosing faith over fear can transform the dynamics of connection. Fear can lead to mistrust, jealousy, and insecurity. When you lead with faith, however, you build a foundation of trust and understanding. You learn to believe in others, to see the best in them, and to foster an environment where vulnerability and authenticity can thrive. This creates deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. It's important to acknowledge that cultivating faith takes practice. It's a muscle that must be exercised regularly. Start small, set intentions, visualize your goals, and remind yourself of your past triumphs over fear. Surround yourself with positivity, whether through uplifting messages, supportive people, or inspiring stories. Every day presents a new opportunity to choose faith over fear. When faced with challenges, ask yourself, what would I do if I truly believed in my capabilities? What if I let go of the fear and step boldly into my purpose? By making faith your guiding principle, you shift the narrative from one of limitation to one of possibility. You embrace the unknown not as a source of anxiety, but as a realm of potential waiting to be explored. Faith over fear is a daily choice, a conscious decision to trust in your journey, to believe in your strength, and to embrace the uncertainty of life with open arms. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, reminding us that even in the face of fear, we can rise above and move forward with courage and conviction. In our fast-paced world, we often find ourselves entangled in the belief that we should have everything figured out and achieved by a certain age or stage in life. We set timelines for our careers, relationships, and personal growth, expecting that our plans will unfold in a linear fashion. But the reality is that life rarely adheres to our schedules. Instead, it is filled with unexpected twists and turns that challenge our timelines and force us to reconsider our pace. This is where the concept of God's timing comes into play, a reminder there is a greater plan at work that operates on its own timeline. While understanding God's timing requires a shift in perspective. It's about recognizing that while we may have dreams and aspirations, there is a divine orchestration happening behind the scenes that we may not always see. God's timing is rooted in wisdom and purpose, designed to lead us to the right opportunities, experiences, and people at precisely the right moment. Consider the stories of many successful individuals, those who achieved their dreams later in life, or who faced numerous setbacks before finally finding success. They often reflect on how the waiting period shaped them, teaching valuable lessons about perseverance, patience, and humility. What they didn't realize at the time was that those moments of waiting were preparing them for the blessings that lay ahead. Trusting in God's timing requires faith and patience. It means letting go of the urgency that comes from societal pressures and comparing our journeys to others. In these moments, it's easy to feel like we're falling behind, like we're not living up to expectations. But when we remember that each person's path is unique, we can begin to appreciate the beauty of our individual journeys. In the waiting, we have the opportunity to grow. It's a time to cultivate skills, develop character, and build resilience. Think of it as a period of preparation where we are being equipped for the responsibilities and challenges that success brings. Just as a seed must take time to grow before it can break through the soil and bloom, we too must undergo a process of maturation before we can fully embrace our destinies. Sometimes we pray for things seeking immediate answers, yet when the answer doesn't come right away, doubt creeps in. We may wonder if we are being ignored, if our dreams are too big, or if we're somehow unworthy of the blessings we seek. But God's timing is perfect, and the delays we experience can often be seen as divine protection. Maybe what we are asking for isn't right for us at this moment. Perhaps there are lessons to be learned or other pieces that need to fall into place before we can receive what we desire. Imagine a puzzle, each piece has its place, and until those pieces are positioned correctly, the whole picture cannot be seen. Our lives are similar. God knows what pieces need to come together for us to achieve our full potential. We might want a particular piece to fit right now, but it's crucial to trust that the timing of when we receive that piece is ultimately for our greater good. Moreover, God's timing is often about aligning us with the right people and opportunities. There may be connections we haven't yet made or experiences we haven't yet had that will prepare us for the next phase of our journey. When we rush into things, we might miss those crucial moments, those serendipitous encounters that change the trajectory of our lives. It's also important to embrace the lessons that come from the waiting period. During times of uncertainty, we often discover deeper truths about ourselves, our values, our desires, and our purpose. We learn to rely on our faith rather than our plans. This reliance builds a stronger foundation for the future, allowing us to face challenges with courage and clarity. Additionally, God's timing often teaches us about gratitude. When we're in the midst of waiting, it can be easy to focus on what we lack. But when we shift our perspective to recognize the blessings we already have, we cultivate a mindset of abundance. Gratitude opens our hearts and minds to the possibilities that exist all around us, reminding us that every season of life has its own beauty and purpose. Finally, embracing God's timing allows us to cultivate a sense of peace. When we surrender our need for control and trust in a greater plan, we can find solace in knowing that we are exactly where we are meant to be. Instead of feeling anxious about what lies ahead, we can learn to appreciate the present moment, finding joy in the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. In the grand tapestry of life, each thread is woven with intention. While we may not always understand the timing of certain events, we can trust that God's timing is perfect. It requires faith, patience, and a willingness to embrace the journey, knowing that every step, no matter how small, is leading us closer to our true purpose. In a world that constantly encourages us to hustle, strive, and chase after our goals, the concept of surrender can feel counterintuitive. We are conditioned to believe that we must fight for what we want, that success comes from relentless pursuit and unwavering determination. Yet there is immense power in surrendering, not as an act of giving up, but as a profound acceptance of the flow of life and an openness to receive what is meant for us. Surrendering to receive begins with recognizing that we are not in control of everything. Life is a complex tapestry woven with various threads: our choices, the actions of others, and the unpredictable nature of fate. When we cling too tightly to our desires and expectations, we often create resistance. This resistance can manifest as stress, anxiety, and disappointment, especially when things don't unfold the way we envision. But when we surrender, we let go of that resistance, allowing ourselves to be guided by a force greater than ourselves. Think about it. Surrendering doesn't mean abandoning your dreams or aspirations. Instead, it means trusting that the universe or God has a plan for you. It's about understanding that you can put in the effort and take inspired action while simultaneously releasing the need to control every outcome. This balance is key. You work hard and you set goals, but you remain open to the possibilities that may arise outside of your original plan. In the act of surrender, you create space for new opportunities and experiences to enter your life. Often, we limit ourselves by fixating on a singular vision of success. We may think we know what's best for us, but the truth is, we may not always see the full picture. By surrendering, we open our hearts and minds to a range of possibilities, including those that we may not have considered before. Imagine a river flowing toward the ocean. If the river fights against the current, it can struggle and become stagnant. But when it surrenders to the flow, it moves effortlessly toward its destination. In the same way, when we surrender, we allow ourselves to flow with life. We become receptive to the blessings and lessons that come our way, trusting that they are part of our journey. Surrendering also involves letting go of the attachment to specific outcomes. It's natural to have desires, but when we become too attached to how those desires should manifest, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Instead of saying, I need this to happen by this date, we can shift our perspective to, I trust that the right opportunity will come at the right time. This mindset allows for greater peace and reduces the pressure we place on ourselves. Moreover, surrendering to receive means acknowledging and embracing our vulnerabilities. In a culture that often equates vulnerability with weakness, it takes courage to admit that we cannot do it all alone. Surrendering allows us to reach out for help, to seek guidance, and to lean on others when needed. It reminds us that we are part of a larger community, and that support is available if we are willing to accept it. In relationships, surrendering can lead to deeper connections. When we stop trying to control how others should behave or respond, we create space for authenticity and understanding. By surrendering our expectations, we allow relationships to develop naturally, fostering trust and vulnerability. This openness can lead to more meaningful connections and a sense of belonging. The process of surrendering can also be transformative on a personal level. It invites introspection and self-discovery. When we let go of the need to control everything, we begin to uncover our true selves. We may find hidden strengths, passions, and desires that we had previously overlooked. This journey of self-discovery can be both liberating and empowering as we start to align ourselves with our authentic path. Furthermore, surrendering helps cultivate a mindset of gratitude. When we let go of the pressure to control outcomes, we become more attuned to the blessings already present in our lives. We begin to appreciate the small moments, the lessons learned, and the connections made along the way. This shift in focus allows us to experience joy and contentment regardless of our circumstances. Ultimately, surrendering to receive is about embracing faith in the process. It requires patience, trust, and a willingness to let go. When we surrender, we acknowledge that there is a greater force at work in our lives, one that knows our desires and dreams even better than we do. This faith allows us to relax into the journey, understanding that everything is unfolding as it should. Surrendering doesn't mean passively waiting for things to happen. It means actively participating in your life while remaining open to the unexpected.